Okay, and I'm going to share my screen and then person, and then we'll get going here. So bear with me, sharing screen. You guys let me know. Can you guys thumbs up? Can you guys, oh, I think it's still thinking. Okay, still waiting. I can share. Okay, let me try this one more time if I can share my screen and so we can get going. Okay, nothing yet, right? Okay. You guys are being awfully patient. I might have to get Steve to figure out, like, why can I not get this? We totally practiced this earlier. Let me
How about Christine, while you do that, how about everybody share their name and how they spend their days? I mean, I guess we're all in quarantine, but on a normal day, how would you spend your day? I'm Shauna, by the way. So maybe share your name and how you spend your days.
How do we know who goes first?
Whoever.
Okay, I'm Christine, and I am a high school science teacher. So I've been spending a lot of my days staring at my computer, talking to children and emailing parents.
Nice.
I'm Mia Rainbolt. I'm in Fort Collins, and I do elder home care. So I visit and take care of elderly in their homes. And SHAKLEE.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, who else?
My name is Sarah, and I'm from Fort Collins. Sorry. My bad. Go ahead. I'm Sarah, and I'm from Fort Collins, and I take care of my children, and I own a massage clinic, so I'm a massage therapist, so I do that part-time as well.
Awesome. Awesome. How about Christina Wood? You go next.
Hey, I'm Christina. Can y'all hear me? I'm back to you. Yeah. I teach fitness classes, so dance fitness and yoga primarily, bar, some other things. So online now. So, yeah.
Awesome. How about Marissa? I'm not sure. Marietta?
Yes. Hello. Hi, I'm Marissa. I'm a CrossFitter like Christine. That's how we met. I'm in Lone Tree, and I work in accounting for a nonprofit, and I'm actually, I don't know why, but I'm an essential worker. So I have been going into the office every single day since quarantine. So I've had some normalcy in my life. Granted, I go to the office in my gym clothes. I'm one of like 5 people in the office out of 300 that are forced to stay home. So kind of nice.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How about Lisa Russell?
Guys, my name is Lisa Russell. I'm a counselor in Fort Collins, Colorado. Love it. Spend my days on Zoom like this. So if I unvideo, that's why. But I'm still listening.
Awesome. Awesome. Nicole Spears.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm in Erie, Colorado, and I have 3 daughters at home in school, and I work for a Christian nonprofit part-time and also do SHAKLEE.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, I think Christine's ready, so sorry.
Thanks you guys for being so patient. So I literally have Steve standing here just in case it doesn't work again. Okay, there we go.
We're glad you're all here though. So.
Yes. And if you didn't get to say hello and who you are, we can definitely do this at the end, but we will get started. Thanks for being patient and balancing hormones to look and feel our best. Like, this is so where we want to be. I think this is a huge thing for women, that we just struggle with our hormones. We struggle with the changes. We don't know what to do, and we get stuck and we feel frustrated. So this is a part of just how we can feel our best. So thank you for being here tonight. And for those that don't know me, I'm Christine, and I absolutely love coaching others in their fitness, their health. And I've partnered with SHAKLEE for many years to help people look and feel their best. I've been married to Steve and for almost 27 years. And so, oh my, it's been, we've got 4 kids, John, Ben, Issa, Jacob. So a lot. So we're enjoying it. So Shauna, how about you?
Yep, I'm Shauna. I have been married to Joe for 27 years this Friday, and we have 3 teenagers, senior in high school, who's trying to get through this unique time, and then I have a sophomore, she's 16, and a son who's 13, and I spend my days as a teacher. So I teach life skill classes, nutrition classes, and finance in high school. So
awesome. Well, we wanted to jump in, and so if you guys haven't muted, go ahead and mute to get started. But symptoms of hormone imbalance, these are things that we will see. I think when we get to our 40s, we definitely see the weight fluctuations, but even before that, there's the skin breakouts. There is that acne when our hormones start changing, PMS, even lower basal temperature changes, migraines, headaches, and even some of the negative changes we'll see, the depression, anxiety, food cravings. Shauna and I were talking about earlier, for me, I'll go 100 days not have my period, I'll spot a couple, and then I'll go 100 days and I'm in a room full of my 15-year-old and some girls, and I might spot. So I'm in the midst of the perimenopause, early, that kind of season, but mood swings, fatigue. So it's something that we all experience in these situations. But even looking at this one, contributing factors to imbalances. I think some of us might think, I understand stress. How does that relate to hormone imbalances? And we'll talk a little bit more about the cortisol, the adrenals, the hormones, the stress hormones, but even just blood sugar changes, what we're eating, like blood sugar, that too much of that, and just what our pancreas does to produce that insulin, and how all these are contributing and all these are interrelating to hormonal balance. Thyroid, our thyroid hormones, our metabolic rate, and even just the sexual function of our estrogen, testosterone, progesterone. So, it's kind of like a one size doesn't fit all. There's so many different variants to just our hormone balances. And so we'll look at some of those tonight. And, there's a quote, and I think I passed it over, but let me see. But if our hormones are imbalanced, we feel imbalanced. It will impact our energy levels. It will impact our brain function. It impacts our mood, our hair, nails, skin, digestion, libido, everything in between. So this is definitely, I'm glad that you guys are jumping on with us, because this is something that we all want to just have a greater handle on, and just balancing those hormones. Okay, hold on 1 second. So this slide here, sugar, hormones. Whoa, what does it do to impact the sugar, what it does to our hormones? So the hormone insulin, its job is to properly manage our blood sugar levels. But your body, we can become resistant to just the signs of insulin when we overconsume and eat too much. And, our bodies are brilliant. Our bodies know what to do. But when we're out of sync and we're out of control and out of moderation, so to speak, our bodies just get in overdrive. And so you might have heard the term insulin resistance. And so that's just when our muscle cells, they're resisting the glucose sugar. They're resisting just how the insulin delivers to them. Blood sugar will soar. Our pancreas releases more insulin to force feed the muscles, and these muscles resist it. They resist that sugar push. Things get gummed up, and our metabolism might halt. Our hormone imbalances happens, and our brain might say eat, eat, eat. Our body might say store, 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 and we see that change. Yes, thank you. And then also. Oops, sorry. I went to the next slide. Okay, that is, okay, how do I get back? There we go. Okay. And then cortisol is another hormone. So that is just affected again by our sugar intake. So when we have high sugar consumption, it just relates and affects our adrenals. And so keeping our cortisol levels high, that's when we can kind of see, why does our midsection grow? And we'll talk about stress in a minute, but that is something too that affects our hormones, affects our body, affects our metabolism. And so again, just that increase in that visceral fat, that is the fat that's surrounding, you know, our organs, that plays a role in developing later on type 2 diabetes, which we want to stay away from. So it's just a lot that we have to understand, just what we put into our mouths, what we eat, that it can affect in so many different ways.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about stress. And I'm sure if I asked you all and could see all of you right now, have you felt any stress in the last week, month? What are we in, 9 weeks now? I'm sure we would all raise our hand. Stress looks different and it's totally different. You can be happy and relaxed and still be experiencing stress. It happens in so many different ways, but it definitely, a chronic state of stress is what can make us sick. So too much of it will make us sick. And whether it's financial stress, loss of income, depression, anxiety, you have bills to pay, maybe you're having stress about getting the virus, not seeing families or friends. I know some of us who have kids, they are really frustrated not being able to get out, all the different rules. Aging parents, some of you, well, we're now all homeschooling, which is stressful. So, and trying to teach high school students in a cooking class online is not my favorite. So a lot of different kinds of stress. And here's another thing. You can wake up in the morning and accidentally stub your toe on the door as you walk into the bathroom and your body goes into stress mode. So it's a big deal. It's something that we want to be sure that we're taking a look at here in our society. It's kind of a way of life. And so we want to take care of it. And we want to, especially when it's bad stress. So stress really is the body's natural reaction to harmful situations, whether they are real or perceived. So when you feel threatened, a chemical reaction occurs in your body. The body goes into protection mode, and it's a fight or flight. So the central nervous system takes charge, and the hypothalamus in your brain gets the ball telling your adrenal glands to release the stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. You'll start feeling these hormones at work because your heart rate goes up. You guys have had those experiences many times, whether they are perceived situations or real. Your heart rate goes up. You start to breathe quickly. Your muscles tighten. Your blood pressure rises to protect yourself, and you potentially might have enough adrenaline to fight off a bear. I mean, there's so many different things that can happen. Many of us probably have some stories about that. Prolonged stress, like I was saying before, results in chronic problems, belly fat, liver that can't handle excess blood sugar, and then our bodies get sick. So we are in the middle of it. So, okay, next slide, Christine. We're going to talk a little bit about hormone disruptors. These have another impact on kind of the way our hormones balance. So think about your hormone is a substance that produced in an organism and transports in your tissue fluids, like blood, to stimulate specific cells into action. So ideally, our hormones, when balanced, all work in symphony with each other. Like it's balanced, we think clearly, we feel amazing. And this kind of balance or harmony is constantly threatened by thousands of endocrine disrupting chemicals. And those are what are in our modern life. So the more we spend time indoors, in sterile environments, the increased hormone disruptors happen in our bodies. We're surrounded by compounds that interfere with the production, expression, conversion, or the detoxification of our hormones and the glands that produce them. So the whole process in our bodies, that is a huge issue with these. They're called EDCs, endocrine disruptor chemicals. Let's see. chemicals. Think about this. If you think through how you've spent your day, now that it's getting nice around here, I don't know how many of you are here in Colorado, but it's very, very warm here today. So I think we were up at the Horsetooth Reservoir just behind our home here, and literally there could have been thousands of people there, I'm pretty sure, because everyone's sick of being inside. So often the way our home environment is, it has a big impact on how our body functions. So if there's a lot of toxins inside our homes, whether they are related to our cleaning supplies or our personal,
there's bugs, millers and stuff flying in. Bleh.
or personal care products, all of those things have a big impact on our bodies and disrupt our hormone balance, our hormone harmony. So maybe you spend time working in an office, even thinking through what your environment there is like. How can you clean up? How can you green up some of our environments? So we'll talk specifically about some ideas towards the end about ways to clean up your home and take care of some of the skincare that we're using. It's pretty fascinating. You do not have to look very far to find a ton of information and studies done on how toxic our homes are. So, okay. Next slide. When estrogen is too high or too low. So if we have too high of estrogen, let's see, it says in a healthy individual, estrogen is balanced by progesterone in women or testosterone in men. So exposures to the EDCs leads to high levels of unopposed estrogen, a condition called estrogen dominance. So some of you may have heard that, maybe you're even on here specifically for that. So too much estrogen or low progesterone output can be a serious health risk and cause troublesome symptoms and life-threatening diseases, including cancers, obesity, cardiovascular disease, and autoimmune disorders. And often it leads to stubborn fat. So progesterone, primarily a pregnancy hormone during the 3rd trimester levels, is at its peak and prepares the body to store energy or gain weight for birthing. So that's a little different situation. But when it's too high, if you look at the slide, you can kind of go through those bullets of all the symptoms of having too high of estrogen. And then too low, we've got the mental fog, hot flashes, night sweats, vaginal dryness, insomnia, fatigue, migraine headaches, osteoporosis, memory, and concentration problems. And you might even be feeling like, I think I have both. So hopefully some of this information is going to help. But those are great kind of markers on what's going on. Okay. The next slide, we're going to talk a little bit about menopause. Some of us here may be in the middle of menopause, beginnings, whatever. It says permanent cessation of menstruation. So that is when you are no longer menstruating. That's when you're officially in menopause. Genetics influence where your body stores fat. Hormones, age, and how many children a woman has given birth to also play a role. So women tend to add more fat after menopause when estrogen levels drop. So if that's a very common issue, I think I'm 48 and in the middle of all of this. And everyone I talk to, they're like, oh yeah, pretty soon you're going to get the tire around the middle. That's just the normal thing that happens. And so we're here to really kind of tackle how to avoid that or to lessen that. But menopause, it's caused by decreased production of ovarian hormones, usually begins with perimenopause between the ages of 42 to 55. And again, that's a kind of a wide range. It varies. Sometimes you might be similar to your mom and how she went through it. It's kind of varies. For me, it's been definitely different. So let's see. Yeah, and then it says progesterone falls, which increases estrogen dominance. Okay, go ahead, Christine. We'll move on to talk about that belly fat.
Okay, got it. All right, you guys. So this picture, I would say the first one, the picture on the left, I think I was in my 30s. And then the picture in the blue bathing suits, I was last year at 48. And so I think for a lot of us, we struggle with belly fat. We struggle with our bodies changing and we don't know what to do. So some of these slides that's following, I'm going to talk about nutrient dense foods and macros, and even just the significance of sugar, and how we, that talked about just how it really, the imbalances do affect our hormones. And sometimes I think we don't even realize this sugar consumption that we have, because it's just hidden in so many foods. And especially if we have a diet that's a lot of fast foods or processed foods, or even low diet, low fat foods, that we don't realize the hidden sugars. Even timing of meals, like when and how, how often I'm eating, balancing those hormones, and then just the focus of building lean muscle. So these two were two different types of times, the seasons in my life, where the one on the left, I really dieted. I kind of probably did fad diets. I did 100% cardio. I really restricted calories. I didn't know what to eat or what I was eating. And I really struggled. I didn't feel like, I thought I was in great shape. And I know, I really appreciated where I was, but when I started 10 years ago, maybe 9 years ago, lifting weights and doing CrossFit and understanding macronutrients, what I'm putting into my bodies, I really began to focus on building lean muscle and revving up my metabolism and thinking about nutrient dense foods. And that changed a lot for me. So looking at the next slide, don't count calories, but make your calories count. And I think we can get overwhelmed with calories and the scale, and it's not about those. And yes, I do want to see what maybe calories I count in for a certain reason, but the focus was, how do I eat healthy and fuel my body? And that was, I want to talk about, here we got fats, carbs, and protein. So those are your macronutrients. And I think, back, when I was younger, even in my early 30s, you fear fat. I didn't want to eat fat. And so it's that's low fat foods. So healthy fats are essential for delivering fat soluble nutrients into your system. So we need those healthy fats. We need the avocados and the oils, and just really healthy ones that our body needs for hormone function and metabolism and balance. Obviously, there's some fats to stay away from: trans fats, hydrogenated, anything that you see in the label, even omega-6 fatty acids. We want the omega-3 fatty acids. So we can definitely, at the end, Sean and I want to be available to talk more on follow-up with you about macros, but we're just giving you just a good bird's eye view. Complex carbs, so unsweetened, naturally occurring from veggies, are just a really good source of complex nutrient-dense carbs. Whole grains in moderation. They really help prevent overeating, just what you get with low glycemic, a steady blood sugar level. And then protein, I'm going to talk more about that in a minute, but essential amino acids, it is the building block of every cell, and we need protein. It will help satiate us. It will help cellular turnover, and it really does, it produces hormones. Protein is something that cannot be stored, so we must replenish it daily in our body. So looking at the next one, fuel your body like a Maserati. So, it's interesting. I think, I remember in high school having a diet bar and an apple, and then at 3 o'clock I go run track. And so I'm like, how did I fuel my body with that diet? But that's just what I did. I needed to eat the least amount and try to be skinny. And so it wasn't until recently, the last, 5 or 6 years of understanding eat to perform, even for my brain, for my body, for my workouts, that whole fat, not low fat, nutrient dense foods, hydrate. As an athlete, even if you don't hydrate, your mind, your body, you really have poor performance that way. But even just hydrating, drinking 8 to 16 ounces of water before every meal. In the cleanse, and I'll share about this in a little bit, but we have a cup of, or mug of warm water with fresh squeezed lemon, a little ginger, something like that. I had that this morning with Michelle. It's great to hydrate and get our body ready for the day to digest. And structure your eatings. I gave you a little sample here. Oops, sorry. Just breakfast. So 3 to 5 times a day, this could be a sample of what I eat. So if I'm going to work out at 9, I might or 9:30, I might wake up, have some overnight oats, or have even a protein shake, or have a chia pudding, something like that in the morning. And then an hour and a half or so later, I'll work out, and then I might have a post-recovery smoothie with some really good protein, plant-based protein, and then lunch might be a big salad or a Buddha bowl with lean protein or grain, and then I have dinner, lean protein. Like tonight we had steamed or sauteed cauliflower rice, salmon, and potatoes in a salad. And then I might have a good protein carb in the evening if I'm still hungry. So I've learned to listen to my body and to fuel it. And we'll talk more about this in another slide. But boosting metabolism, I think that was one thing when people ask, you know, how do you change your body? It was just, what are we doing that we can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. And so if something's not working, this is where I want to, you know, make my time available to see, okay, what can we do to get your metabolism going again? And so exercise, it's like I can't I was just talking to a friend today, and we were talking about, she's 29 today, and she's like, I just feel like the last year I can't eat the same and I work out the same, and all of a sudden I'm gaining weight. What do I do? So we talked about the Prove It Challenge, we talked about the cleanse, but we talked about just getting in the right healthy rhythms of eating and what we're eating. So that's something we'll look at. But building lean muscle moves metabolism, boost your mood, relieve stress, activate your hormones. So here I have just a suggestion of when we work out and exercise, that it's a 20-minute cardio focus intensity over duration, that it's not going for a 60-minute treadmill run, but it's just, it's bouts of energy, and it's high intensity for 10 minutes. It might be a ladder of, I'm increasing the intensity. In that regard, I'm really getting my heart rate up, and I'm building some muscle and seeing some results. But I want to say that when we eat, we fuel our muscles. When we rest, we build our muscles, and all that comes into play of just having a healthy balance overall. And so, Shauna, why don't you take it from here?
Okay. All right. Building blocks for health. Christine talked a little bit about protein and how it is really the foundation of cellular function. It's fascinating if you do any sort of in-depth look at how protein functions in the body. It's really the building block. So having enough protein is often the issue for people who are dealing with some of these issues. Seems like it's like the bottom line. So really, really finding a good quality, lean type of protein. Proteins builds and repairs tissues. So if you go work out really hard, your muscles have little tears in them, and so you need protein to help repair and build the tissue back up. It makes enzymes, hormones, and other body chemicals. It's, again, building block of bones, muscles, and blood, and it stabilizes blood sugar and improves mood. And then we have our multivitamin need. If you go to really any doctor you go to, will say and recommend a good quality multivitamin. So we love SHAKLEE's multivitamin. They have several. There's a Vitalizer, which is an amazing strip that probably all of us use here. It provides energy, keeps your blood sugar level, it is amazing strip that I can't imagine life without it. Fills in nutritional gaps, stops mechanisms for cellular aging. We also have a Vitalee, just a classic multivitamin that people use even for a prenatal. And then we have a Life Strip also with what's called Vivix, which is an incredible product as well. We can talk more about that if you have questions. So let's see, do we have a picture of, I saw that question, Teresa, a picture of a Vitalizer strip? I don't know if we do. I'll try to find one, but our Vitalizer strip has a multivitamin, it has omegas, a B complex, and a probiotic. So it kind of encompasses everything you need in one little strip. I'm often running out the door for work. Well, not anymore. And I have that little strip in my pocket, and I'll take it once I get to work. So we're all home, ready to take those vitamins now. So, okay, next one, Christine, next slide. Okay, so how do you pick a natural supplement? Really, the SHAKLEE, it's what's called the SHAKLEE difference. So you want to think about when you choose supplements, you want to think, is it safe and is it bioavailable? Meaning, can your body actually absorb the supplements instead of flushing them out? And so those are the kind of the two things to look through is, are they safe? And a lot of companies out there, whether you're buying it online or at Whole Foods or natural grocers, to really do your homework and find out what's the safety behind it, the purity, the safety, and then again, is it bioavailable? Because nobody wants to purchase really what you might call expensive pee if it's just flushing right out and not actually absorbing into the body. So SHAKLEE, they are amazing. I was a skeptic of most. I'm kind of like to know all about the science and the meaning behind everything. And so I went into looking at supplements with very skeptic mindset and started to do my homework with SHAKLEE and found how in company was. I was so taken aback by what they represent and their legacy. I mean, for over 100 years, SHAKLEE's been ahead of its time, a long, rich history of innovation through science. They are not driven by fads or whatever is popular, whatever the public wants. They are absolutely driven by science and creating pure and safe products. So I love that. Their mission is based on the belief that nature holds the answer to a long, healthy life, and therefore SHAKLEE takes great measures to bring you truly life-enhancing products and to guarantee the quality, safety, and purity of every product. So if you'll see in this slide, it says it's 350 tests against harmful contaminants. There's over 100 patents and published scientific papers, which is incredible. I mean, most companies don't even get close to anything like that. 144 gold, silver, and bronze medals from the Olympics, which is another huge thing because a lot of athletes would never partner with a company unless they know for sure that it's going to be a safe choice. And then SHAKLEE's difference also includes that all the products are 100% guaranteed. I mean, it's incredible to offer that. A lot of companies would never do that. So let's see, slide 20, next one. Oh yeah, Beyond Organic. Again, SHAKLEE guarantees its products are free from any contaminant. Their results are without compromise. Heavy metals, arsenic, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, you should expect nothing less than from products you're using on a daily basis. Like, they are Beyond Organic from the very beginning of the products manufacturing and production. It's the way it's grown. There's so much great science and literature on their products.
Awesome. I think in adding to what Shauna said, the difference is the leucine. Leucine is one of the branch chain amino acids. Now remember, protein is something that you can't make in your body. And so the leucine is the branch chain amino acid that says to your body, hey, hold on to that lean muscle and burn the fat instead. So clinically proven to build lean muscle, it just works with your metabolism. Now, having a quality protein also means that it's got all 9 essential amino acids. Otherwise, it's just not a quality protein. You're not getting, it's like you're missing part of that alphabet. It doesn't make the alphabet complete. You have to have all 9 essential amino acids. And what I love about this, like our kids, our Vitamix goes, I don't know, 6 to 10 times a day. With my 2 older boys from college home, they're having 2 shakes a day and an extra protein shake for recovery after their workouts in the afternoon. But I love that it's plant-based. As we get older, our bodies needs to have that more of those plant-based that really can be easily digestible, but you've got the good profile of 20 grams of protein, less than a gram of sugar, good soluble and insoluble fiber. And if someone is keto friendly, the net carbs is 2. The quality, like Shauna says, it really matters. If you were just to go on and Google about protein powders, you would be astonished of how many reports that have been, even 3 major companies that have had to, that had lawsuits because of just what they have found in protein. And so you really do have to do your homework and just see the science and see the quality control because it is important. And your body is important. I mean, your body is the only body you have. And I think sometimes we're seeing a lot of those endocrine disruptors and just toxins that we just, I think someone, you know, unknowingly we put into our body just from digesting what foods we have. So this has been really cool. Even my neighbor across the street, her, the daughter, she came and said, I'm stuck. I'm really stuck. I just don't know how to move the dial and get my body moving and changing my cravings. And so I mentioned to her and talked about the Prove It Challenge. And this is something that some of us just finished up last week. But it is a great jumpstart of a healthy cleanse to reset your system, to reset cravings. And it's pretty crazy when I'm a person that I have protein every day, and for 7 days I didn't have any protein. I was astonished that I had energy, mental clarity, focus. I could tell in my joints inflammation went way down. It was just a great resetting. And I just was really, it's something that I can just confidently recommend to other people to say, hey, give it a try. Just be available and open to trying this out. So you get the protein, you get the strips, but it's a great restart. My friend Melody, and she has a very busy job. She's here in Denver, and the general manager of Scissors and Scotch. And when she did this, she said, she was so amazed because she was in the habit of eating no breakfast, and she was always out the door. And as you're a hairstylist, she would just make appointments through lunch and sometimes not even eat lunch. And she was like, I was getting so fatigued, I would have carb cravings, and I was just unhealthy. So she did the challenge and was amazed that she had the stamina. She didn't have to have the coffee or the mid-afternoon sugars to get through the day. So that was super cool, just the consistency she felt with this. Shauna, I'll have you start this next part of some of the things that can really help us when we're in that perimenopause, menopausal state.
Okay, so maybe this is some of the part that you guys are like, okay, I have some of these issues. If you're perimenopausal, I need help. Tell me what to take. So these next few slides hopefully will at least stimulate some great conversations with whoever invited you. But during your 30s to 50s, that's typically the perimenopausal stage, where you may have a period for 3 months straight, then not have one for 3 months, and then, or spot, and then have it normal. It's all over the place. Something that might be really helpful to try is the Menopause Balance Complex. It's a combination of black cohosh and licorice. Helps your body to think that there is still plenty of estrogen, which helps to reduce hot flashes or night sweats. GLA is another great product. It helps to regulate hormones, helps with breast tenderness, hot flashes, bloating. This is a great product to give if some of you have teen girls in your house, preteens who are, you know, hormones are starting to change, and this is a great product to have on hand for some of those mood swings and some of the things related to menstruation in general. But that combination of menopause and GLA does great for night sweats as well. And then Osteomatrix helps with sleep issues and relaxation. That's just a calcium option that actually really does relax your muscles. So Osteomatrix is a great thing to have on hand if you have chronic headaches or related to cramping. Obviously, you know, bone health, something also for those teen girls in your lives, or just young women, is they will stop being able to absorb calcium at a certain age. I think it's late 20s. And so like I talk to my high school students all the time, like, get your calcium in now. After that late age, I'm not sure on the age, I don't want to say it, but you can't go back. And so people who are not consistent with calcium at those young ages have osteoporosis or some bone issues later. So having that on hand, we use that for headaches or muscle aches, cramping, all that kind of stuff. And then Gentle Sleep Complex, maybe helpful if you're able to fall asleep, but then awaken and can't get back to sleep. I know several clients of mine who have found really great success using Gentle Sleep Complex for a full night's rest. It has the natural valerian, the main ingredient, gently makes you feel drowsy. So it's a great option. And it's amazing how many people are on meds for sleep issues. So it'd be a great way to kind of move away from those kinds of things little by little. Okay, some supplements. going on here is liver detox, removes excess hormones from the bloodstream. A lot of us here on the call, even today, just finished the 7-day cleanse, which also includes the liver detox, and it's an amazing product just for that whole detoxification process that's involved as we even change, our hormones change, and things are working their way through the whole menopause process. Optiflora is our pro and prebiotic system that helps balance our gut microbiome, which is going to help if you have a candida issue, an overgrowth of yeast. Again, a probiotic, we can't, if you don't know where to start, if you have never tried any of these supplements, that would probably be my first recommendation, is some sort of a quality probiotic. I think as we deal with all the stress, especially during these COVID times, our microbiome, our gut health is for sure the first place that you need to spend some time tackling to get healthy. That is going to help you absorb. If you have good gut health, you'll be able to absorb whatever you're putting into your body. So if your gut health is not doing great, that would be the first place to start, is to kind of figure out how we can talk about getting that healthier. So Core Energy is an adaptogenic herbs. I'm not sure if I said that quite right. It supports the adrenals, providing stability for endocrine system. That is, again, a great supplement. If there is a chronic fatigue or even some sleep issues are related to Core Energy, again, we can talk more specifics if that's one you're interested in at a later time. And then Stress Relief Complex, herbal blend that blunts the effects of cortisol in the body, relieves tension, increases clarity for sharp mind. Everybody in our household has used Stress Relief Complex at some point during the year, when, maybe it's finals week or I have a lot going on. I literally have a little bottle right by my bedside, and I'll take one a night just to kind of calm and help me sleep better. And you can take it during the day if you have an overwhelming test coming up, or maybe you're a realtor and you're showing a home or whatever. You can take that and find a relaxed, again, we're trying to calm our body systems down so that we can actually function those cells at their best. Let's see. Okay, and then 40s and 50s, so avoiding chronic disease. Here's a few ideas for supplements to consider and think about. The CoQ Heart supports energy production in the heart, promotes and prevents healthy arteries against LDL oxidation. So many great uses for that. We're just barely touching on so many things with this. Again, Osteomatrix, again, important for bone health and prevention of osteoporosis. Omega Guard is helpful for heart health and reducing inflammation. You guys have heard about omegas, how important it is to get different types of foods in with omegas. We've got your flaxseed, different nuts, fish, all those kinds of things. Really, really important to get those omegas in for the heart health and inflammation reduction, which is, as we age, that starts to be an issue. And then Vivix, I mentioned that before. It's a natural blend of polyphenols designed to help activate your cells' natural defenses. Literally, there are studies showing that it slows, aging at the cellular level. So incredible, incredible product that SHAKLEE has created. And then MindWorks, just yesterday, my husband told me that he thinks I have adult ADD, and so I need to purchase some MindWorks. This stuff will bring clarity and really gives more oxygen to your brain so that you can think more clearly. So that's going to be on my next order. So
Awesome. Yay, Joe.
Here's 3 testimonies. I'm just going to give you a chance to read through them. I won't read every word. I know we've gotten a lot of words out here. Just give you 1 minute to them, then I'm going to talk. That last one, we don't have the name of that person, but it really could be me. I've been going through menopause for the last couple of years, And I didn't know they were called hormonal storms, but literally for about maybe 4 months, I would have at least 15 or more hot flashes at night. So I had terrible sleep habits. And if anybody has ever had a hot flash, Mamma Mia. I mean, it's quite an experience. There's nothing like it. So finding something that works, some sort of regimen that works it's going to change your life. So I started taking, I take a life shake every day. I take the vitalizer, and I just started on the Menopause Balance Complex. I did that I started, and the first month I didn't see a huge change. And after that, they went away. And so I know people have referred to that Menopause Balance Complex as magic, but it kind of is. So
awesome. Thanks, girl. I think we experienced so many changes, and it'd be great if we had more time to hear all of, the things that you guys have, and hopefully we'll have a little bit time at the end. But even thinking back through, okay, what does this look like? My hormone changes, my bodies are changing. And when I mentioned earlier about macros, this is from MyFitnessPal, this little snapshot. And when I have a client that says, help me dial in my nutrition, even like the gal, my neighbor's daughter that turned 29 today across the street, I said, okay, Brianna, I want you to send me, email me like exactly what you eat, as close as you can. If you can, download this free app, MyFitnessPal, then I'm able to see how much protein are you getting in your day, how much carbs, how much fats. And then we can see, I find out calculating their basal metabolic rate. So that's something that I can offer and spend time individually with some of you if you'd like. And your TDE is your total daily energy expenditure. So what is your activity? Like how much do you move as far as like with walking or CrossFit to yoga to dance to whatever activity to running? What are you doing? What is your caloric need? So a lot of times, honestly, people have no idea. Like earlier, you saw my pictures. I had no idea what I was eating. I had no idea how I was fueling my body and what my body needed. So everyone, it's different. So there's not a magic number or percentage. Like this is just a sample percentage only. So you'll see, 41%. I think this was someday, I can't remember, but I average around 40%, carbs to maybe 35 fat. And I fluctuate, depends on what my goals are. And so that's something that we can talk about. But again, the whole thing I want you to get from this is, what are you eating? How much of what those macros are you eating? Now, the word refeed, what I find for most women is as we age, we're losing our muscle mass, our metabolism is slowing down. Many of us are not eating enough protein. And so some people don't want to eat animal protein. And so when we talk about this life shake, the 20 grams of protein in a shake that I can make, 140 calories. If I want it to be a little bit more calories, I just add half banana, I add frozen fruit. I can put in, a little shaker of turmeric, handful of spinach. Like you can make your smoothie how you want, but it's a great way to add more good, clean protein into your diet, because that is a huge thing I see most women, we don't eat enough protein. And refeed, sometimes I've found some of my clients not even eating enough calories to sustain their basal metabolic rate, meaning the rate that their body needs to survive to, brain function, circulatory, all that, their body if they just were laying in bed, they needed a certain amount of calories and they were giving it deficit for far too long. So ideally, if someone's in an activity, a gram of protein per body weight, if someone's in strength training, and if someone isn't, I would say, ballpark could be about 70% of your body weight, get that grams in protein. But this is definitely something that I like to spend time and just go over, because it's really helpful. So I'm just giving you broad strokes right here. Lorraine is a mom. I met her when she was 59, and she became one of my clients, and she told me I need to get I need to lose some weight. I need to start lifting weights. I don't know what to do. Can you help me? And so I started training her, and I saw her for 8 weeks, twice a week, and she gained confidence. I tailored it to what her body could do with exercises. She did the Prove It Challenge, and I asked her why she wanted to do the Prove It Challenge, and she said, at 59, she said, I wanted to challenge myself to complete the first cleanse in my lifetime, and I wanted to kickstart weight loss, which she did. and to continue nutritional lifestyle. And so it's amazing. 100 days after we first met, she, unbeknownst to me, signed up for a 5K and then celebrated her first 5K. And then she's done 2 more. She lost 20 pounds in the whole process. And she has dialed in just rhythms. And it's just really fun to see you get to learn about your body and your needs and just take charge of your health. So when someone says, you know, they're hungry between meals, I might ask them, am I even eating enough at mealtime? Or am I just like a bird and I'm just snacking all day long and I'm not fueling my body? So am I getting some good healthy fats, some good nutrient dense carbs, low glycemic? Am I getting some lean protein? You know, what is that macro ratio for me? Am I not eating enough? And am I not regulating my blood sugar because of that? And maybe like what Shauna suggested, there's some things that my body is just not digesting well. So maybe my microbiome is off. Maybe I have so much stress that I've got a lot of inflammation. So there's a lot of things that we can look at, but it's worth asking those questions. So Shauna, you want to take this part? I think you're muted. There you
Sorry. I'm just talking away. Okay. We're going to talk about a couple of products related to protein and muscle gain and building lean muscle. So this is our build. Oh, wait, go back one more.
Oh my goodness.
Now you guys know we're almost done. That's always helpful.
Here we go. Sorry.
Okay, so this is our build advanced physique 100% grass-fed whey protein. So this one actually helps you recover, repair, and build lean muscle faster. Contains 50% more leucine than traditional whey protein, which is again that amino acid that helps build lean muscle. That's kind of the goal, right? We don't necessarily want big bulky muscle. We want to lean out with muscle. The key is branched chain amino acid proven to help preserve and build lean muscle. I just said that, sorry. It's fast absorbing and easy to digest, contains the full spectrum of essential amino acids and no added sugar. The flavors are vanilla or chocolate. And this is something you might use at longer duration, 10-mile runs, those kind of things. That's when you might use the build. It's not something you would use maybe after a walk, or it's something where you've worked really hard for a longer duration. So helps kind of bring down the cortisol levels of after exercise. This is kind of cool. I think SHAKLEE does power athletes, Olympic athletes that bring home gold. As a competitive athlete at the world-class level, I was subject to 24/7, 365-day drug testing. She trusted SHAKLEE Performance to give her pure and clean nutrition so she could train and compete with confidence. That is a huge deal. I mean, drug testing like that every single day, to be able to partner with a company and trust them, that's a really big deal. So let's see. Okay, results. Muscle gain plus bone density. I want to take a few minutes about this little clinical study. So 9-month clinical study conducted on aging women. So here's an example. In a study, so the no exercise group, they lost 2 pounds of muscle and lost 1% of their bone density. The exercise only group, they gained 3 pounds of muscle, but no change in bone density. And those that exercised plus had a life shake every day gained 5.2 pounds of muscle and gained 1% in bone density. Huge. Those are amazing stats right there. And their exercise, just so you know, was 3 times a week, 20 minutes cardio and 20 minutes resistant training. So it wasn't like this intense, you know, training every day for hours, and they still were able to gain 5.2 pounds of muscle. The 6-month study, exercise only, they lost 4.9 pounds of fat and gained 3.9 pounds of muscle. The exercise plus the life shake lost 9 pounds of fat, gained 5.5 pounds of muscle. So again, same kind of exercise. After the exercise, they would follow it up with a life shake that it has that leucine and enhances the muscle gain, the bone density. And you know, again, protein out there, there's a lot of fake protein out there. So you really, really want to know what kind of contaminants are in some of the protein powders out there. There's heavy metals found in sheep protein, and maybe Christine knows a little bit about that, but it's kind of a big deal. You want to know what you're eating and getting in there, because it seems like everybody is buying protein somewhere. So
Awesome.
proven by science, that last one, yeah, kind of speaks for itself. Lose the weight, keep it off, and retain lean muscle. Isn't that the goal, right? We want, especially as we're aging.
And I'm gonna, like I said, if you guys want to take a snapshot of this, there's some helpful lab tests for stuff, especially some of you guys that might have issues with thyroid, whether you see a naturopath or functional medicine doctor, or you've gotten some good connections. But we definitely have a couple of people that I love to refer when clients I have, you know, get to the point where we're in our 40s and we just want to know, what are our levels? Where am I at? Especially like when Shauna talked about, I just feel like I'm in adrenal fatigue and constantly there's this underlying stress and my cortisol levels seem always high. I just can't manage it. Maybe I need a hormone panel, or maybe I need to check my thyroid and have a full thyroid panel and check my iodine levels. Maybe I need to see what my 3-month blood sugar average is, my A1C, and even just my vitamin D. Vitamin D is something that most people are deficient, and it's definitely boosts your immunity. And so that's something too that's really, you know, normal levels 70 to 100, 120, like where am I at in that if I don't have a blood test? So those are some ideas that you can have. So you can take a picture of that, and definitely if you want more information, I can always email you, and you know, some of the referrals that I like to recommend and refer to others as well. So in wrap up, I would say there's so many things that connect to, like we talked about at the beginning, some things that contribute to hormonal imbalances. So it's addressing those hormonal, adrenal, our gut, blood sugar issues. Maybe if I'm honest with myself, my diet and my nutrition needs to change. I really need to take charge of that and come clean with, like, how can I make some changes there? Or maybe I need to start moving my body more frequently and differently to see some changes. We want to just say you can schedule a free health assessment with ourselves, with the person that invited you. We would love to help with any of that. And like I mentioned before, the Prove It Challenge Cleanse, it was a great reset to cravings. It really, I was shocked how much it changed some of my cravings. And, you know, it's something that you can do 3 times a year, even 4, and, you know, the seasons change. Managing stress, minimizing stress effectively is huge. I was on my way back from Fort Collins this morning, and I was listening to a podcast of an unhurried life, like living just a very contemplative and having a Sabbath. And I'm super guilty of just being very busy and wanting to be very productive and not taking breaks and not taking self-care. So this definitely compounds if we don't take a breath and just breathe and manage that stress. And we all have stresses differently. I do. I know we do. And then sleep is very essential to our health. So those are some things to wrap up. And then getting started, there might be something that one or two things that stood out to you from any of the lifestyle of where I'm at, perimenopause, menopause, whether it was sleep, stress, menopause complex, there might be something that stood out to you. You know, jot it down, reach out to the person who invited you. This is what the Prove It Challenge looks like for resetting the whole thing. It's just a great way. I love to recommend people to start out. And a health print. Sometimes it might just be unlocking some other things that could be part of, you know, your health goals that we can help with. So definitely follow the person up with that, you know, that invited you, to schedule a follow-up call and get a free consult to really think through, what are the needs that I have for my body. I love this quote of avocados. I totally regret eating healthy today. Said no one ever. And isn't that the truth? That we want to feel our best, we want to look our best, and we want to just strive for that hormonal balance. And in closing, I want to share a picture of our team, and it's not everyone on our team, but you know, nowadays, health and the wellness industry and just being a part of a healthy lifestyle is probably what people are looking for and on the forefront of their minds more than ever. I think in this COVID time, we have been more stressed about staying healthy, not getting sick, you know, having to change our rhythms, having to figure out childcare, having to work from home, homeschool our kids. And we really wanted to have health. And we've even had to be, you know, just boosting our immunity. So working from home, working from anywhere, this is something that I have to say, I've been grateful for. And some of you guys are working from home, but I just wanted, at least, I love inviting people to our team. I just never want to feel, you know, embarrassed to say, I would love you guys to join our team. But I just wanted to say right now, SHAKLEE being a health and wellness industry, it's not going away. It's something that everyone needs and wants. So right now, it might be for someone that you know, or you as well, that your passion for health and wellness, it's us, you know, it's been an opportunity for me to earn an income and work from home and have the flexibility. So definitely this is something to look into. Until June 30th, it's $25 to become a distributor and work from home and turn a passion of health and wellness and to make a difference in others' lives. So just wanted to invite you to that, to look at our mission of helping people. And so I'm going to stop sharing now and open up for you guys. We literally just hit, I think, an hour from when we started. So sadly, I was like delayed in getting the sharing screen started. This is not my computer, it's my husband's. So I had no idea what I was doing. But any questions? So this is where you can unmute yourself and we'll take a few minutes to ask some questions. Claudia,
Hi.
raising your hand? Yes.
Yes. Hey, I just started weaning myself off of hormone replacement therapy and starting on the menopause balance complex or complex balance, whatever. And so
Called Magic.
I can't get that until the end of July. So I would run out.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been talking to Michelle about buying Cohosh, and I can get some GLA just to supplement until I can get the SHAKLEE again.
Yeah, I know. I think I saw that it's like so back ordered, which it's, you know, for you right now needing it, it's hard. I mean, I think even it'd be interesting if Michelle knows anyone that has extra supply. But yeah, I think that's
like Teresa said she would give me what she has left over because she's backed off to 1 a day, and I'm I'm still in the weaning process.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's a good plan B, you know what I mean? Until it comes in. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to, between Teresa and I'm not going to be able to have enough until the end of July.
Maybe we can do some calls and figure out where's some extra, you know, anyone might have some. So who knows? We'll have to
Okay. I'm determined to do this time. This is my 3rd time trying it. So.
That sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing, Claudia. Anyone else maybe that has tried a product that you have your own testimony, your own testimony of something that has worked, because maybe what you share might encourage and inspire someone else on this call that you have tried that's worked for you.
I can just speak to the fact that the Life Shake has made a difference with my menopause. I am 6 years cancer-free, and I'm sort of phobic about trying anything else. And when I started this almost a year ago, I started realizing, wait a minute, because I'm not on anything for menopause any longer. And that's the only addition, the only new thing that I've introduced into my life. So I can just attest to the fact that it makes a difference for sure. So
that's awesome.
That's good.
That's really cool to hear. How about anybody else? A question or comment or a testimony?
Well, with the Life Shake, so are you mixing it with fruit or almond milk, or I'm not exactly sure how to use it.
You know what? Depends on when I'm using it. So if it's a meal replacement because of the protein carb ratio, I can get away with water. I love water, and I'll put ice cubes. I will put like a huge handful of spinach. I'll do the vanilla, the plant-based protein. I will do like a shaker of a little turmeric, cinnamon, and then maybe some frozen blueberries or strawberries. So I change it up. I'm not a creature of habit that way. In my family, my kids, without a doubt, it's 5 frozen strawberries, a banana, vanilla, ice, water. I mean, every day it's their breakfast. So my children have used that for their breakfast pretty much 5-6 days a week. you know, to really get some good energy, brain food, and balances out their blood sugar level before they went to school, or now when they have school in, you know, so. So there's a lot of great recipes, Claudia, a lot of great recipes out there. How about anybody else? Any other questions or thoughts or feedback?
Christine.
Yes. Hi, Teresa.
Hi. Hey, I was just going to mention that when you were sharing about the macros, you know, I've heard people talk about that, and I'm kind of like Claudia, that you almost don't want to ask because you're like, everybody in the world knows and I don't. And so, you know, I'll just pretend like I know what they're saying. And, I still don't really know what that means, but somebody just a couple months ago, honestly, said, my sister-in-law said, go to MyFitnessPal, and it's just an app that you download.
Yes.
And you just enter in everything that you eat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a game to me, and I actually haven't done it for a couple of weeks, but it made me want to go back to it because it really tells you, and then it gives you that circle of balance and tells you how much protein and that. So anyways, it was a deal changer for me.
Good. That was that one picture that I had of the.
Yes.
Recognize it. Yes. I think until you do that, I don't love logging every day. I will log every day when I'm on the cleanse, just to be helpful. And when I feel like I need to tune back into regular rhythms, I will log my food. But I make my clients do that because they have no idea how much food they're getting in and what types of food and calories they're getting in. So I'm glad you've done that. It's once you do it a couple of times, it's not as difficult, but as specific as you can be. And obviously, if it's a casserole, it's really hard to calculate, well, how much chicken was in that serving of casserole. If it's more whole foods, like 4 ounces of chicken breast, a cup of broccoli, it's a lot easier to track that way, but very helpful. Very useful information. So I'm glad you've tried that. Anyone else? Because I definitely want to be respectful on time for you guys. Shauna, any last thoughts?
No, I think it's such a process, you know. I think everybody's body is different and how you react to different things. So probably my only comment about the Life Shake is to not load it up with too much fruit and sugary, you know. It's got what it needs as it is. So adding extra fiber is great. But getting creative with that, it's just such a great way to start your day, especially post exercise. I'm the same as Christine. The whole family uses it, and there's a lot of amazing recipes we have to share as well. So that protein piece is so crucial. And again, the gut health thing. So if you feel like, you know, if you have chronic bloating, gas, indigestion, diarrhea, constipation, all those things are symptoms of a gut check. We got to tackle that. So
thanks, Christy. I saw that you said Carb Manager lets you upload recipes so you don't have to individually add the food. So yeah, thanks for adding that.
Oh, nice.
But, you know, like I just will, as I'm in closing, you guys definitely reach out to the person that invited you. So for a follow-up, for a schedule call, for even wanting to do a health print to really look at some maybe health goals and some things that could tackle that. And if you want to follow up and ask any other questions about macros and understanding, you know, what I need, reach out to me. But thank you for spending your hour and a little bit with us tonight. Thanks for joining in. And we're grateful to have you guys. So enjoy, and we will touch soon. Take care. Bye, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.